Too bad. What are you doing? Mm, Too bad. Too bad. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is this? What are you doing here? Too bad. Too bad. Don't. Hey, get out of there. Do not do that. Do not do that. Yeah, no, don't do that. No, too bad. Stop that. Those are important papers. Come on. Come on, come on. No. No, no, those are important papers. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, thanks, Stacy.
No
See if
problem.
I'm not sure I can get, oh yeah, I can stop focus mode. Okay. Thank you very much. So now where are you? Are you there? Okay, yeah, all right. See you. Hi, Ruth. Stacy, I didn't know that's what focus mode meant.
Yeah.
I thought it meant that the foreground would be focused and the background would be kind of blurry. Pardon my companion here. He has to always be around when I'm on the computer. So you'll see him going back and forth all night. His name is Tuba.
Well,
Tuba, you want to say hi? There you go. Yeah. Hi. Mm. What do you want? What are you interested in right now? Hmm? What do you do? Would you like to audit the class? It might be fun. Hi, Omar.
Hi, Beth. How's it going?
Fine. How was the first day of school?
It was pretty good.
Good.
Didn't really do much, but yeah,
It's nice to start out kind of leisurely if you can,
definitely.
kind of ease into it a little bit. So we've got 2 minutes and I will wait for the, we'll start right on time. Hello, Anna.
Hello.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, so it is 9 o'clock and there'll probably be a lot of doorbell ringing that you can hear on your computer, but that's okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the spring semester 2023. My name is Beth Tauke. I'll introduce myself in a minute, but I just thought it would be nice for you to meet the team who will be working with you this semester. And also we can answer any questions that you might have. And if there are any kind of troubleshooting issues that you need to know about, we can talk a little bit about those. And there are plenty of introductions to the course, but I'll just talk a little tiny bit about that as well. We won't be here forever, so this will be a relatively short meeting unless you have lots of questions. Some of you have sent some questions via email, and so I will address some of those tonight. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask us, put them in the chat, or when we are in the Q&A session, you can also just talk out loud if you want to. You don't have to put them in the chat. Okay, so first I would like to introduce myself, and then I will introduce all of the rest of the teaching team. We have 11 stellar teaching assistants this semester. It's a great team. And I think you're going to enjoy working with all of the ones with whom you are assigned, and maybe you'll get to work with some of the other ones occasionally as well. So my name is Beth Tauke. It's pronounced many ways. Some people say Tauke, that's actually the correct pronunciation, but most people say Tauke. And I think that would be an easy way for you to remember my last name, because I talk a lot, so I'm kind of a talkie. And so it would be easy for you to be, thinking of that when you're thinking about my last name, if you ever need it. I'm from the Midwest. I grew up in a town called Dubuque, Iowa. It's a town of about 65,000. It's right on the Mississippi River. So I was kind of a river rat when I was growing up. And I've been teaching at UB since the fall of 1985. So that makes me really, really old. I'm sure I basically could be I could be a grandmother for most of you. If I wanted to give you an example of a very important experience of my life, I think a life-changing experience for me happened when I was a senior in college. I was in a choir, and that choir traveled competitively, and we won a competition. And so because of that, we ended up going to India and Nepal during the winter break during my senior year. And I had never been to a different culture in my life. This was back in 1978. And so I was kind of shell-shocked, but that experience was so great and so wonderful that it actually changed the whole course of my life. And it wasn't all pleasant. I mean, there were I saw horrific poverty. I saw, all sorts of things that I never thought that I would ever see. And, but it really, it just had such an impact. And so I'm sure that all of you have things like that that are changing your lives, and we are interested in knowing what those are. I also, you might see a little black shadow wandering around tonight, and that is my cat, whose name is Tuba, and he loves to get involved in Zoom meetings, so it's kind of hard to keep him away. Okay, so that's me, and I think we can go through our list. Is Gabriella here? Not yet. So what about Zach? I know Zach is here. I saw you. There you are. Okay, Zach, do you want to say a little bit of something about yourself?
Sure. Hey everyone, I'm Zach Wickarek. I'm an MArch student here at UB. I'm in my second semester of the MArch program. I'm currently focusing on urban design studies as well as inclusive design kind of focuses. Something about myself, I love soccer and skiing. So if I don't get back to you in an email that quick, then I might be doing that. So I apologize in advance.
All sports, you only like sports that begin with S, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, what about Stacy?
I'm Stacy Tubiolo. I'm in my third semester of the MArch 3.5 program. I believe I'm a TA for group 5 and 6, so definitely email me with any questions or concerns at any point. It's about as efficient as texting me, so I'll get back to you pretty quick. And yeah, I'm excited for the semester.
Should be fun. And Zach, your
Yeah.
groups are 3 and 4. So yeah. What about Crystal? Is Crystal here?
Yes. Hey everyone, I'm Crystal, and I am TA for group 7 and 8. And I'm also getting my master's in the 3.5-year program as well. And then one fun fact about me is that I play rugby and I play for the Buffalo Women's Rugby Club. So,
Wow, that's a tough sport.
yeah.
Very physical, really physical. Yep. I didn't know that. So I learned something new tonight. And yeah, you are groups 7 and 8. And what about Garton? Garton Lind. Hi, Garton.
Hello, everyone. I'm Garton Lin, and this is my second year teaching this course. And it's also my second year in the MArch program, also my last semester. So I've had a great time last semester. I'll be back. So hopefully I'll be a great TA again. I'm in charge of group 9 and 10. And I think I'm pretty quick to respond if you have any questions. So please email me.
You're good with the responses, so that's excellent. Anything else, Garton?
I mean, I just came back from the study abroad program just last year, and I went to Ireland for 2 months. Traveled to 8 cities, basically all around Ireland, all over to Scotland as well. So I had a great time there. I think everyone else should maybe consider about the study abroad program. I think it's really great. One way you're traveling, another way you're also studying. So
I second
it's
that.
great. You guys should look in.
Everybody should try to take advantage of that. There's no better time to do it than when you're in college. Let's see. Omar, what about you?
All right. Hey, everyone. My name's Omar. I'm going to be TAing for groups 11 and 12. This is my second time TAing for this class, so I'm quite familiar with it. So if you guys have any questions or want to reach out to ask about anything, feel free to do so. I'll be available pretty much all the time. So hopefully I'll get back to you within like 24 hours. So yeah.
Sounds great. Where were you during the holidays, Omar?
It was back home. So I'm originally from Egypt. So I went back to visit family. And yeah, I was there for, I want to say a month, 3 weeks, something like that. Because yeah, the blizzard, I basically got stuck in the blizzard here.
Wow.
But yeah, traveled right after that. Had to get some sunlight. So
Of course, it's a good thing to do during these gray days. Thanks, Omar. And Cam? Is Cam here?
Hi, I'm Cam.
There you
I'm
are.
the TA for groups 13 and 14, I believe.
You are.
This is my first year in the master's program. I am currently studying ecological practices. And fun fact about me is I've been vegetarian for about 2.5 years now.
I have a great vegetarian dessert for you that I will share with you.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. And let's see, Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm the TA for groups 17 and 18. And I saw some of you guys already responded to your discussion board, so good job. I'm in the urban planning studio, and fun fact is that I enjoy playing tennis.
That's great. Thanks, Kayla. Did you watch the Australian Open?
I watched some of it. I don't have cable, so I had to watch
Yeah.
at home, but I saw a few.
Yeah. Ruth.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ruth. I'll be working with groups 19 and 20. I'm also in my second semester of the 3.5 program. Did environmental design for my undergrad. And since you guys are just mentioning like athletic hobbies, I guess I like doing roller skating, going to the skate park and stuff during the summer.
Wonderful. And then finally, Anna.
Hi, everyone. I'll be TAing for groups 21 and 22, I believe.
Yes.
I'm in my second year, going into my last semester of the 2-year Masters of Architecture program. I'm not athletic. I can crochet though, sort of.
Maybe you could teach us. That would be fun. Yeah. Thank you, Anna. And has Gabriella showed up yet? Going once, going twice, and let's see, who else are we missing? We've got, I think that's everybody. Okay, so
You forgot me.
I'm sorry, Jacob.
It's
I'm so
okay.
sorry. Okay, hi, Jacob.
Hi, I'm Jacob Dannenfeld. I'm a TA for groups 15 and 16. That's my second semester of the architecture master's program. I'm in the inclusive design studio. I was here for undergrad as well, so I took Beth's class 5 years ago now, so I remember some of it. And it's my first time TAing this class, but I have TA'd before, so I'm familiar with like the processes, and I'm looking forward to the semester.
Yeah, and I think that almost everybody who is part of our teaching team, thanks, Jacob. And do you have any interesting facts to tell us about yourself?
I like photography and traveling.
Well, those are two great things to like, so thank you. I think everybody, or nearly everybody in this, on this team has actually taken this class. And we have 4 people on our team who are returning from last year. So there's a lot of great experience here. These are the cream of the crop in terms of our students in the architecture program. So there's a whole lot of brain power on this team. So I hope you take advantage of that while you're working with us. Okay, so we'll do a few things this evening, and they are, so we've already gone through the introductions. You'll be introducing yourselves in your discussion groups. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the course, and then we're going to take your questions. So a little bit about this class, which I think would be useful for you to know. First of all, somebody wrote something already in the introductions, and this person said, I'm a little bit, this course is really out of my comfort zone because I don't know anything about architecture. And you should know that the majority of the students in this class are not architects. The majority of the students in this course come from all other kinds of majors. Typically, we have a lot of engineering students, a lot of nursing students, a lot of PT, physical therapy and exercise science students, a lot of students who are from management, school of management, and kind of a handful of students from the College of Arts and Sciences. But so you'll find that this course is not really an architecture course, and so you should know that up front so you're not concerned or intimidated about that component of it. Instead, it's really about design in the broadest sense of the word. And so it's about various design professions like communication design, product design, yes, architecture's in there, urban design and urban planning, landscape design. So those are the professions, but we also just look in general at the idea that anything that is created or built is designed. And anything that is created or built that we use has consequences. It has a history. And so we're going to be looking at that. And when we think about this, everybody in this class, so we're not thinking about professions with a capital P. We're thinking, we'll look at them, but we're really thinking about all of you as designers, because every day you have to develop or create something, whether it's you're cooking or you're solving a problem. If you're solving a problem or figuring out how to do something, you're designing. So it's that broad. And so I think that that's one of the things that I'd really like to emphasize. And then the course is really more about exploring questions that affect our lives every day, whether we know it or not. So I already responded to one person in one of the discussion groups, and I gave this person an example. So I said, for example, most people, and especially older adults, and that's one of the diversity groups that we'll be looking at, have difficulty operating the functions on their cell phones. So the reason for this, is it because older people are dumb and stupid and they are not experienced with technology? I would say no, it's not about that. I think the reason is that these functions were very poorly designed. And if you look at the history of cell phone design, and you look at who actually did the designing of a lot of the functions on the cell phones, you would understand why some of these functions are so poorly designed. If they had been well designed, they would have been easier to use. So I often will say this phrase when somebody says, "Oh, I'm so stupid, I don't know how to do that. I can't figure out how to do this." I will say back to them, it's not you, it's the bad design. And I think we don't pay enough. We take a lot of things for granted in our world, where we will put up with bad design. We'll buy things that are poorly designed. And we kind of blame ourselves for not being able to use certain things. Well, we're going to change that. And in some ways, we're looking at the ways that we as conscientious human beings can impact the way our world is designed. So that's one thing to think about. And we're going to be looking at a lot of examples like that during the course of the semester. But then also we've got these topics. So we'll be looking at design professions, which I mentioned before. And we're going to be looking at some diversity issues. So we'll look at race, we'll look at ethnicity, we'll look at age, we'll look at gender, we'll look at physical and cognitive disabilities, we'll look at social class, we'll look at religion. I don't know if I have them all or not. But what we're really trying to do here is to look at the way that we will look at how design throughout US history has affected various underrepresented groups in our country. And I think even more importantly, we're going to take a look at how those groups have affected the design of our world. And this topic, because of these kinds of connections that we are looking at, it gets so interesting. It gets controversial sometimes, but it's a really, I just think that the subject matter is fascinating. It could be 15 different courses if we would go into in depth into all of these things, but this is a really broad brush, and we'll be looking, each week we'll take on different topics throughout the course of the semester. So I think I'm going to share my screen just for a minute, I'm not going to walk you through the whole website, but I'm going to share my screen just to show you a couple of things on UB Learns. So bear with me for a minute while I share my screen. What's going on here? Oh, here we go. All right, and I'm going to pull up UB Learns. There are all of you. Thought I had it up, but maybe. Well, I'll just pull up this one. Okay, so here's our course, and I hope you can, oops, sorry, darn it. Sorry about that. Okay. Waiting for this to pop up. I don't know why things are so slow tonight. All right, so if you're looking at this course, you're going to see this menu on the side. Now, mine probably looks a little different than yours, but when you've probably already gone through the announcements on the course startup and the syllabus. But the weekly modules that's your big area, and the course is organized into these weekly modules, which get turned on every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Now, I might turn them on a little earlier. I turned them on earlier this week, and you can decide whether you want them on earlier or not. These are modules that have pretty current material in them, so sometimes we're still fussing with them on the weekends, but you'll need to let me know if you need them earlier than 9 a.m. on Monday mornings. So this week is our introductory week, and you're going to get this overview. I always put a transcript in here so that if you don't want to watch a video, you can just read it. Look at these objectives, because the objectives are what I use when we're designing our quiz questions for the week. So keep that in mind. You'll see this, what's due, when is it due? I'm giving this to you in the beginning until you understand the routine, and then after a while, you won't see this anymore. Now, I just wanted to go over what's due each week. So you have assignments that are readings, audios, or videos that we are asking you to look at. So we prepared a kind of a potpourri package for you each week that focuses on the topics we're dealing with for the week. And once you're finished with that, you need to do one thing on Thursday by 10 p.m. And that is, you need to go into your discussion groups, and I'll show you how to get there in a minute. And you're usually going to have just one discussion question per week. This week we've got two because I wanted you to introduce yourselves to each other. But normally it's just one discussion question on the materials for the week. So on Thursday, we're asking you to have your responses to the question posted by 10 p.m. That's for the following reason. And then we're going to ask you to respond to, I think, at least 2 other students' responses so that a conversation can start. Now, if we didn't have this due on Thursday, most of you would wait until the 11th hour, and then there would be no conversation. It would just be you getting your project in or your question in without any dialogue at all. So in order for dialogue to actually happen, that's why you need to have that in on Thursday at 10 p.m. And then the other thing that you need to do every week is you'll have a quiz. It's a 10-question quiz, and that will be due on Sunday night at 10 p.m. Your responses to the other students' posts, those also go in on Sunday night at 10 p.m. All right. I'm not going to actually open up the readings, audios, and videos right now because you can go in and look at all of those yourselves later. Well, actually, I just lied. I'm going in here because I want you to look at one thing in particular. This critical thinking PowerPoint is very important for you to look at. You can either access it as just a PDF, or if you want the voiceover version, it's here for you. We're going to be using some of the formulas that are set up in this critical thinking PowerPoint as a way of structuring our discussion questions. So that's pretty important for you to go over. All right, now I'm going to back up for a minute. And then you'll see here's where there'll be this quiz, and you can click on this link to get to the quiz. I'm explaining the discussion here, but the discussion, I'll show you where to find your discussion groups in a minute. And then at the end, there's always something that's fun or interesting in some way. And you don't have to do anything about that. It's just interesting things that are related to our topics. All right, so now I'm going to let's see what happened here. Okay. I've got all kinds of UB Learns things up here. All right. So if you go into your, let's see where your tools are going to look different than mine, but your groups should be listed in your tools. And so that's one thing to know about. But when you're going into your discussion board, you'll see here that there's this thing called a discussion board. If you click on that, you're not going to get to your discussion group discussion boards. You're going to get to the general discussion boards. And there are only 2 things in that discussion. One is questions about the course. So if you have any questions, I check this every day, once a day. And then if you have any suggestions for improvement, that goes here, and you can add those in that discussion. So that's the general discussion board for everyone. That's not where you respond in terms of the day of the discussion question for the week. So here are course tools, and you have course tools as well. And here you will see a discussion board. That's where you click, and you will see you probably can't see this because I can barely see it myself, but all the discussion groups are in here. You will only see one discussion group in your discussion boards. It'll be the group to which you are assigned. So if I clicked on Gabriella's group 1, you'll see that week 1 discussion is already up. And there are 2 questions. One is an introductory question, and then the second one is about the materials for the week. So I just wanted to show you those things so that you had a feel for how to get to that discussion board, because it's always a little bit tricky. And as a matter of fact, it probably wasn't very well designed by Blackboard. So that was one of the problems. All right, so now I'm going to stop sharing so I can see your lovely names again. And I will, does anybody have any questions? I see nothing in the chat. I see nothing, nobody's saying anything. You can unmute yourself if you want to, if you have a question. And I will ask to unmute. So I'll give you 1, 2, maybe we'll count to 5. Let's see if you have questions. 3.
Beth, we had written in the chat, say something.
Pardon? Oh, are the quizzes short answer or multiple choice? Okay, the quizzes are either true, false, or multiple choice. And you will get responses right after you take the quiz. So you'll get to see what the answers are with little explanations right after the quiz is over. I do have some questions that people emailed me, and so I'll just respond to those. I'm thinking if somebody had them, somebody else probably is thinking about the same thing. So one question was, in the discussion group, should I hit reply to post my responses? And the answer is yes. You cannot start a new thread in discussion groups. This is all one big thread. And so if you're responding to the question, just hit reply and type in your response. And that's the way that'll work all semester. I'm looking at, it says, and we don't need a textbook. No, you do not. We want education to be as inexpensive as possible. And there's really no reason for you to have a textbook. We wrote a textbook for this course, but we don't use the whole thing. So there are a few pieces of it assigned. It's called Diversity and Design. Surprise, surprise. And so the introduction to that book is one of the readings for week 1. And you'll get a few others as we go along through the semester. But we compiled things from all over, videos, websites, readings, and it just, and we want to keep things current and up to date. So a book is too static for this class. So that's why we don't really have one. Next one, do we need a lockdown browser to take the quizzes? What's a lockdown browser? I don't even know what that is. Can somebody tell me? Does anybody know?
It's just something that doesn't let you go to other windows while you're taking the quiz.
Oh, I don't think so. I didn't put that function in. This is open, you know, we're not in a situation where we really can control things, and you're not supposed to be able to see the answer. So some of these quiz questions are more thinking questions. Some of them are questions where you actually could find the answer in the reading. So if you wanted to have the reading open while you're taking the quiz, that's fine. I mean, it's not an issue. Okay, thank you. I learned something new today, what a lockdown browser is. Will there be multiple attempts for the quizzes? No, it's one shot. So that's, you have 30 minutes to take a 10-question multiple choice true false quiz. So you should be able to do just fine if you've done the work for the week. And then a very poorly designed program. I'm not quite sure what. Are you referring to UB Learns? Are you referring to us?
They're referring to the lockdown browser.
Oh, the lockdown browser. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're not going to bother with All right, do the quizzes have a time limit? Yes, 30 minutes. If that is an issue for you, let me know. These are the kinds of things you never feel afraid to let us know if something isn't working. So if you need more time, you let me know. Some people have special accommodations for extra time so that they will get that. But I think 30 minutes is plenty. When I did this course live back in the day, we had 15 minutes for the quiz, and it was plenty of time. So you should be able to do that. How much time would you suggest you dedicate to the class each week? Well, good question. The way that the university thinks about this is that for every one credit, you are to put in 3 hours of work. So if we used the university formula, you would be putting in around 9 hours each week. Some weeks you'll be putting in 9, some weeks you won't. Some weeks maybe you'll put in a little more, but I don't think you're going to be going over that amount of time for this class. Then one person said, when are the assignments due? I'm not really sure what that means. Well, the assignments that I talked about for each week, your quiz and your discussion questions, those are due on Thursday and Sunday of each week. And then there are 2 projects that you'll have during the course of the semester. Project 2 is due at the very end of the semester. And essentially you're developing with your discussion questions a portfolio that you can use for your UB curriculum portfolio. So you'll have that all finished. UB curriculum people love it that we do this, and they're very happy that you do this, because then a lot of your work is already finished when you're taking that capstone portfolio course when you're graduating. So that one's due at the very end. The other project is going to be due right before spring break. So, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Next person said, do you have extra credit assignments if we need extra points? Yes, we do. And those come up throughout the semester. I know for sure we're going to have one extra credit opportunity where you will be participating, or you can participate in a research project on inclusive restrooms or gender neutral restrooms on the UB campus. So there's been a survey developed and we need people to take that survey. So that would be one extra credit thing that you could do. And it's very related to the course. So all the extra credits would be something that's related, but probably in the outside world. So maybe there's a phenomenal lecture that's happening somewhere on campus that's very related. Well, maybe we can make that into an extra credit opportunity for you. So these things kind of come up. They're very timely. I don't know what all the extra credit opportunities will be at this point, because we see what's happening on campus and out in the world when we set those opportunities up. But there'll be at least 3 during the course of the semester. Why is the course are there any group projects? Well, the last project is not a group project. The first project, which is a competition, we have an annual competition every year, that could be a group project. So you're going to have to give us, I don't like big groups because it's difficult to work with big groups remotely. But you can give us your feedback on whether you would prefer group or individual, or maybe both. Maybe we can set up that project so that you could do it one way or the other, depending upon what you like. So we'll announce that competition very soon. It should be a good experience for you and at least a little fun. And then The next one is, why is the course focused on the US? Isn't this a global issue? Yes, that's a good question. And yes, it is a global issue. But at UB and at SUNY, there are some requirements for the UB curriculum. One of the requirements is called diversity in the US. And then SUNY also has a general education requirement that is US focused on and social equity and the history of social equity, which is also US focused. So because of that, this course is also US focused, but ideally, there would be a global course like this as well. But we have so much to cover that we're going to be busy all semester. And of course, the US is not an island, even though some people want to think that way. We are very globally connected, and we will be looking at, how some of these things have a broader reach than just our country. And then the last question was, what kinds of projects will we be having? And it's the two big projects for the semester are a competition and that final portfolio, which you're doing all semester when you're responding to the discussion groups anyway. So you're kind of doing it each week, piece by piece. Okay, do we have any other ones? No more questions in the chat. TAs, is there anything I didn't think about that we should be bringing up? Any words of advice for anyone? Well, my little feline friend Tuba did not show himself this evening for our meeting, but but that does remind me of something. If during the semester you would like to have other Zoom meetings, you think it would be useful for a larger group to get together to talk about something, we're happy to do that. We would do it at a time like this where most people are available. So all you really need to do is ask, and we can set something up. You might want to set up Zoom meetings in your discussion groups. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. Oh, we have a question coming in. So if you want to meet with your discussion group instructor, just let them know that you think it'd be great for the whole group to have a conversation about something, and then they're happy to accommodate that for you. But the course is asynchronous. So none of these Zoom meetings really can be required, because you are supposed to be able to do this on your own time. So if you want to do this course at 4 a.m. in your jams, that's the beauty of asynchronous learning. You get to do that, and you don't have to be anywhere at any specific time, which is why we try to record all meetings. So in case you actually did want to watch something later on, you can. Okay, so Sophie asks us, are there office hours? Yes, and yes, and. So all of the teaching assistants and I have office hours by appointment, and they're via Zoom. So what I like to do, and this is my preference, I love having office hours at night. Like, let's say I'm good between 8 and 11. And it's really great at the end of the day to have the office hours and, just sit and talk with somebody about whatever the issues are. And by the way, if you want to talk about something that isn't about this class, but let's say you can't figure out something in the university, or you're having trouble in some other situation, or you need some advice about careers, or, I want to figure out how to apply to graduate school. I don't know anything. I have been around here for a long time, so I know the university very, very well. And so I'm always happy to give you advice about whatever you need. So You don't have to be shy about that. Just ask and I will try to help you as much as I can. But so we don't have a a physical place where you can go and come in eyeball to eyeball in the flesh. But we do have this other mode, and I love it. I mean, I've had more fun talking with students at night in this course than I had ever during my office hours live at school, where hardly anybody ever showed up. So I think this is a good way to go. And you'll do the same thing with your teaching assistants. If you want to meet with them, it's by appointment, Zoom. I mean, we'll do whatever works for you. I don't know how all of you feel in terms of when you want to meet. I'm just giving you my preference for what I like. But if you want to meet at 6 a.m., I'm happy to do that too. I don't mind. Okay. Anything else? Well, if you have questions, obviously at this point, you know that you can email us or, let us know what you want or what your questions are, and we'll try to answer them the best that we can. I hope you enjoy this as much as we enjoy it. And I hope I hope you get a good experience out of it. And I hope that there are things in the class that you remember when you're my age. Then we will have accomplished something. So good things, a good experience that you remember when you're as old as I am. Those are the things that stay with you, are the things that matter. So I hope that happens. And if it's not happening, give us a little nudge and say, this needs to be better. You need to do something that makes us interested in what's happening. Okay. I wish for you. Garton is giving us a tip. So Garton said, and I agree with you, Garton, it would be best to do your work early on in the week. And if any questions come to mind, we would be happy to help. It would be much more difficult for us to help when the assignment is close to the due date. Couldn't have said it better myself. So thanks for bringing that up. Okay, with that wonderful piece of advice, I wish for you tonight some fun, getting back with your friends and, getting back into the groove of school. And I wish you sweet dreams and a peaceful and calm sleep after you're finished with doing whatever you're doing. And I hope you have a very good week. It's always nice to start off smoothly. So I hope that happens to all of you. All right. Thank you very much. And we'll see you online. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.